And then there's you that is kind of always against you. There's the version of you that's, always belittling you or trying to put you down, saying what you can and can't do. We don't really want to listen to that, but a lot of people do. A lot of people think that that's them. People think that those negative thoughts are their own thoughts, and that's not true. You know what I'm saying? You control what you think and what comes in and goes out of your mind to your mouth. So, you are not your thoughts. That's one key thing. And then there's another you that a lot of people don't get a chance to tap into.
Warriors, come out to play.
What's up, everybody? This is Edmund from The Warriors Way Home. Happy New Year's to you. Hope you had a really good holiday. What we're going to be doing here is something a little bit new to the show. We are actually going to be following my journey as I go and heal myself. The reason why I need to heal myself is because I had an accident during the first week of the new year, and I was in practice. I potentially tore my Achilles tendon, and it's causing me some setbacks in life. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to bring people in to who we are at The Warriors Way Home. We've both been, me and Travis, we've had some issues the last quarter of the year. We were riding a really good high when we went on a trip together. We went to Arizona to meet some other brothers, that highly influential brothers. So shout out to the Power Circle. But ever since we came home, man, there's been some trials. There's definitely been some tribulations, and this is a good opportunity to show you guys what we have to go through, because as we're going through the show, as we're providing these services to you, we want to show you that we're authentic. We want to show you that we are who we say we are. So this is a good opportunity to bring you into my struggles, and Travis is going to do some stuff of his own as well. But ultimately, we're just trying to show our authenticity. We're trying to be 100% with you guys and hold nothing back. So this is a part of that journey. And really what brought this on for me is I remember not too long ago I watched a movie called The Fly with Jeff Goldblum. And I love that movie. It's one of those like body horror movies, but I think it has a really good message, or I just read too much into stuff and that's just how I am. But the reason why I like The Fly is because Jeff Goldblum, he's a scientist who's trying to create teleportation. He's trying to move one thing from one space over to another, in an instant. And the problem that happens is that a fly gets into his machine and actually fuses his DNA with the fly, so he has to go through this radical transformation, right? And the reason why I love that movie, even though it has a sad ending, is because I think it shows a really good point that a lot of us are trying to get to in life, or trying to see in life, is that when you're stuck in one place and you think you're doing everything you can to get to the other side, but you don't know all the tricks of the trade. There's always a gap. There's a gap between getting from here to there, right? And you need to figure out how you fill that gap. But when you're trying to fill that gap, when you're trying to begin your journey or your mission or whatever you want to call it, there's outside influences that you need to keep from coming in. That's the fly. You need to be able to monitor the things that you're taking into your mind, your body, and your spirit, because you take those things with you. You don't always remember everything that happened to you, but there's a lot of influence that happens on a day-to-day basis, whether it's entertainment, education, podcasts, music, people around you, people at your job, your family, your inner thoughts. There's always something that's trying to kind of take you off course. But you need to monitor those things. You need to make sure you're checking everything at the door, so that you make sure that you're maintaining that cleansed space that's going to get you from A to B. We don't always know what that looks like. I don't know what. So it's actually to kind of backtrack a little bit. It's basically 8:16 a.m. Thursday. I'm actually going to my doctor's appointment. About 2 hours basically. So I got to be there at 10:30. And I don't know what they're going to say. I don't know. What they're going to tell me that, it's not fully torn, or it's only partially torn, or it's not torn at all. I have no idea. I'm going in blind. As far as like what the external forces are going to tell me. But what I already know, and what I've known since Saturday when the accident happened, is that I can't let this over influence me. I need to be able to control what I'm hearing from the doctors actually, and I don't want them. I don't need to intake the things that they say. Oh, you're not going to be able to train anymore. You're not going to be able to do X, Y, Z. No, no, no. We're not here for that. We're here for the healing. We're not here for, you know, you telling me what I can't do. You're to tell me what I'm supposed to do to get back to where I was before. And a lot of doctors do that. I'm not even downplaying doctors. They have a very important job, and they've been, you know, pivotal in our society over the past few years, especially. Shout out to, you know, everybody in nursing and healthcare and everything. I recently just got into the healthcare field myself last year, working for a nonprofit. My job is to help people with disabilities find better quality of life. You know. So yeah, man, but I go back to the fly. You know, if you let these smaller influences, even a seed of doubt, get into your space, mind, body, or spirit, it can wreak havoc on your system and what you're trying to do, and cause you to kind of get off mission. So yeah, hopefully I'm not rambling too much, but I'm really just trying to say that, you know, this is an opportunity to experiment on myself, and this is I call it, you know, experimentation, because, you know, we as people are just an anomaly, man. We can control the influences that we place on ourselves. We can change our minds in a span of 90 days or less. You can change your mind right now if you want. You know, it's up to you. But yeah, I'm in a stage of transition, and I was, you know, which is ironic because at the end of last year, I feel like I achieved a lot. You know what I'm saying? I was able to go out and do a whole lot, especially in martial arts. I'm a martial artist, for those who don't know, who are maybe new to the channel. Both me and Travis are. But I was training as this accident happened. You know what I'm saying? I took a longer break. When I moved to Colorado, I didn't fight for a long time. Or rather, I didn't compete for a long time. And because I saw my brothers and teammates training last year, training their asses off, man. Shout out to Iron Forge. Shout out to Iron Forge Martial Arts in Colorado Springs. Man, I've done a lot of growth, and there's a lot of good guys over there. So I watched how hard they trained over the past year, and I was like, yo, there's something I'm missing. There's something that I need to do. Like I'm not evolving as fast as my brothers are. So like, what can I do to get there? And I talked to my coach, and he was like, it's that heat of competition. So long story short, what I did to get myself out of that groove, out of that stagnant mindset, I would say, is I competed. I competed in 3 tournaments last year. One in Muay Thai in Iowa, one a Jiu-Jitsu tournament in Colorado here, and I also did the Kudo tournament, the first North American Kudo tournament in California. That was back in November. So I've been working, man. I did a lot between June and December, training wise, and this really put a wrench in what I wanted to do for this year, for 2024. You know, there was more competitions that I wanted to do. I wanted to keep ranking up and get promoted in my styles. And you know, this is causing an issue. Like, look at this. Big boot. You know what I'm saying? This ain't a game. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful that this gives me an opportunity to become somebody new. This gives me an opportunity to become a whole new fighter. And I'm going to take that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? There's injuries. All athletes have to work around certain types of injuries, but that gives you a chance to become a new type of athlete, a new type of warrior. And I want to bring you guys on my journey. So the reason why I titled this particular episode, Me, Myself, and God, is because I feel like there's 3 versions of you kind of present at all times. There's the you who is maneuvering through life, being influenced, whether consciously or subconsciously, from all the different sources around you. Like I said, family, friends, job, internet, you know, entertainment, education, everything. And then there's you that is kind of always against you. There's the version of you that's, you know, always belittling you, or trying to put you down, saying what you can and can't do. You know, we don't really want to listen to that, but a lot of people do. A lot of people think that that's them. People think that those negative thoughts are their own thoughts, and that's not true. You know what I'm saying? You control what you think and what comes in and goes out of your mind to your mouth. So, you know, you are not your thoughts. That's one key thing. And then there's another you that a lot of people don't get a chance to tap into. And I made a post on Instagram about something called the God complex. And that was the last video that I had made before I got into this accident, or had this incident rather. So when you have a God complex, it's psychologically not, I'm not talking about religion. It really is more of a spiritual thing, but it gives you a chance to reinvent yourself. So with the God complex, you become a generator. You are creating, you are using your creative energy to bring forth something from your mind into existence, into tangible existence. Some people call that manifestation, call it what you want. But it's a process, and it begins with how you think about yourself. It begins with how you think about the influences that you are, taking in. The operator, when you operate in a new modality, rather you have to create yourself, you have to reprogram yourself to operate in that higher form of yourself that you see in your mind. Obviously nobody else is going to be able to see it but you. So you need to operate in the ways that are going to allow you to become that new version of yourself. For me, that was creating a new creed. It was a new giving myself a mission statement. It was making sure that I held myself accountable to the things that I said I was going to do, creating schedules, making sure that I had something tangible, creating a scoreboard for yourself. Give yourself something to do, to get to that new version of yourself. And lastly, you become a destroyer because you are destroying your old self. You are essentially transmuting who you were, who you didn't like, or who you feel like you had gaps in your game, whatever that game may be, and then you are turning it into something positive. You are taking that energy away from the negative, feeding it into the positive, and basically fueling the new self that you are trying to create. And some that might be hard for some people to understand because they don't really understand that they're not really just one personality. You are an amalgamation of all of the influences that you ever had. So Maya Angelou has a lovely quote that I really like. It says, "You are the sum total of everything you've ever seen, heard, eaten, smelled, been told, forgot. It's all there. Everything influences each of us, and because of that, I try to make sure my experiences are positive." And I really feed into that because, like I said, if we're going back to the fly analogy, Jeff Goldblum, by not paying attention to everything that was happening on around him, just the smallest thing came in and messed up his whole experiment. And that fly, it's figure out what your flies are, honestly. That might be the next step for other people. I'm getting ready to wrap up because I got to head over to the doctor, but identify the flies in your life, whether they're negative influences from people that you love, people that are close to you, your job, the food that you eat, what you observe on social media, Instagram, TikTok, all these things. There's a lot of flies around us that we need to clear the air so that we can think. Because what happens when you let a fly buzz by your face or by your ear? You start freaking out. What was that? Oh snap! Just get it out of here. You got to be able to swat those negative influences away from you at any given time. And that's why you want to almost set a piece of yourself aside to rather your consciousness or your awareness. Let's say you need to set a piece of that aside to be able to recognize when those negative influences are coming by you, be able to swat those things away. So you need to constantly feed yourself with positive influences and things that are going to get you to where you're trying to go, because we don't have the time, unfortunately, to mess around anymore. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I was excited for what was going to happen this year, and I was very ready to be done with 2023. I've gotten a lot done in 2023. I've started businesses and got LLCs and started branching out in my community within Colorado, just making community connects and getting new jobs, and I got a baby on the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of changes, but I knew that I was still going to have to work when I got to 2024. There was no letting off the gas. There was no stopping, because now I got people that are, if I didn't have people rely on me before, I got them relying on me now. You know what I'm saying? So I say all I like to say, man. I just wanted to bring this to you guys. So I'm gonna be bringing y'all along on my journey as far as my healing goes. You're gonna be able to check out some of the routines that I put myself through, and I really just want to show y'all that you can do it, man. Whatever. If I can get through a torn Achilles tendon, potentially, hopefully I'll be able to get some footage from the doctors and all that stuff. But man, if I can bounce back from this, you can bounce back from anything. And I say that because I've watched people go through harder things, and I've been through harder things that I've been able to bounce back from. That I've seen other people, go through. I've seen people go through some really tough times, man. And if they can make it, I can make it. And I already had the mindset that, I don't have a choice in this. I have to keep going because it's not just me. It's not about me. Even this struggle that I'm going through right now, my pain is not about me. It's so that I can help somebody else. I truly believe that. So yeah, man, I just wanted to bring that to you guys. This will basically be the first episode, hopefully, of few. I don't want to have to keep posting recovery videos because I want to make a speedy recovery. So, it'll be a couple of months, but it won't be, more than 6, hopefully. And we'll just have to take it in strides and kind of see how it goes. So, yeah, man, I'm going to take this leg into the doctor and see what happens. If I need to come back and report, I will. But for now, just remember, like we always say, man, we're here for y'all. We're here, and the things that we go through are not just for us, they are for y'all. So we love you. Just keep tuning into the channel. We took a little bit of a break, but we're back now. And just keep checking out the YouTube, the Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, wherever podcasts are, man, is where you can find us. So yeah, just remember, man, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Check y'all next time.